Hi guys, welcome back. We are still working on this small but mighty dragon. In this video, we are working on the wings. So we're going to make the main part of the wing. That's the inside. So I'm choosing the alternate color. So that's the color I made the belly patch with. That's the color I'm going to use for the main part of the wing. In the next clip, you'll see white yarn. That was just an oversight on my part. But you use the alternate color that you've chosen for your dragon. What I'm using to make the main part of the wing is the same crochet hook I've been using all along to make the dragon with, and I'll also need my blunt end yarn needle. So for the main part of the wing, I didn't design left or right because it involves so much more extra work that I don't see why I would go through that kind of trouble just to save a little bit of a difference here. And the lines will be a little bit different, but once you get them sewn together, you can't really tell. So for this part, we're just going to make two of the exact same. I'll go over the second row because that will be the most difficult if you're just starting. And there's nothing difficult about it, it's just that one of the stitches kind of disappears, so you have to make sure that you get into it. Okay, I'm just going to chain 12. So row number 2, starting in the second chain from the hook, we're going to put a single crochet in the next 5 chains. I'm just going to speed it up. And when I go through a chain, make sure I have 2 loops of that chain on top and 1 loop of the chain on the bottom. Okay, so there's my 5 single crochets, and now I'm going to put 3 single crochets into the next chain. So single crochet 3 times. 1, 2, okay, and the last one, 3. Now we want to put a single crochet in the next 5 chains. But you see this one here is kind of disappeared a little bit because we put 3 in the previous one. So just make sure you get into that one. And you might have to work at it a little bit. And this one actually isn't so bad. This one here, I couldn't even see the chain. It disappeared completely. Okay, I got into that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the end of row 2, and you should have 13 stitches across. Now I'm going to let you refer to the written pattern, and we'll meet back here at the end of row 5, and we'll do rows 6 and 7 together. So remember to chain 1 and turn at the end of every row, and to skip that chain at the start of every row. Alright, we're at the end of row 5, and we're going to stay on our hook. We should have 19 stitches. Now we're going to work along this edge here. Chain 1, and now working to the left, we're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 3 spaces. There's no real stitches to work in, so we're just going to push our hook through. There's 1, 2, and the third one should land in that corner. Now we're going to work along this edge here, and there's actually outer loops to work in, so we're going to be working in all these outer loops. So let's put a single crochet in that first outer loop, and now chain 4, and now single crochet into the bottom of that chain. Now we'll slip stitch into that loop underneath this chain here, so right here, slip stitch, and then slip stitch the next outer loop, slip stitch the next one. Now chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, single crochet into the bottom of that chain, Then slip stitch that loop underneath that chain. And now slip stitch the remaining loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, and now we're going to finish off. Leave a little bit of a tail for sewing. Stretch it out. Get those stitches to loosen up a little bit. There we go, guys. We should have 2 identical pieces. And we're just going to be flipping one. Alright, now we're going to sew up the corner. And of course we want left and right. So we take our wings. I'm just going to push this corner inward. And there's a little bit of a gap between the 2 edges. So this edge and then the outer edge. I'm just going to sew this in place now. And the starting yarn tail, you can cut it up a bit shorter and just tuck it inside there. And we'll sew around it. I'll sew this edge first. Okay, and then I'll sew down this one. There's nothing to sew closed. I'm just going to sew along it. Just to get my yarn needle to the other side. There we go. And now I'll sew this edge. This open edge closed. Okay, now I'm going to knot off. And then I'll just carry this yarn tail inside and out. So there's my left side. It's got a clean edge and the sewn part is on that side there. So when I do the right side, I'll push this corner up that way. Okay, now I'll do the same thing. I'll sew this closed and I'll tuck that starting yarn tail inside. And just a quick note to save confusion. When I say left and right, I mean our left and our right that we're working on. So left and right. But once it's sewn onto the dragon, of course it becomes the opposite for them. Now that brings us to the end of this video. In the next one, we'll outline the wing. And we'll go to the next one and we'll outline the wing and we'll also sew it to the dragon's body. So that video should be popping up on your screen. Just click that box and I'll meet you over there.